What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today I have for you a video about all my experiences I had at working at ToysRUs. So if you watched a few videos back, I did say I started working at ToysRUs, and you're thinking, now you're not working at ToysRUs? You're correct. I was working for the season, and that's just like the Christmas season, so since it's the new year, I actually was, I don't know how to put it, but basically I was fired. Let's start this video off by talking about my first day working at ToysRUs. Let me tell you, it was really weird because when I got there, the front door didn't open. And so I was like, are they even open? When I was standing at the front door, I actually called them and said, hey, this is Ryan, this is my first day, and I don't know how to get in because the door is locked. And someone on the phone told me they'll be right there, blah, blah, blah. So I hung up, and then they got me at the door, and they said there's a button on the side that if you press, it does like a ring on the inside. But fun fact for you, there's actually another button at the top. You press it and the door opens, and that's for the outdoor, not the indoor. And I thought that was really cool. Apparently, they didn't have me down on the schedule for that day, so really, I shouldn't have worked that day, but they were so nice enough to actually let me work, and one of the people there, who is amazing, and she's the nicest person ever, she actually trained me for the register, and that was really fun. I was really nervous because I don't really like counting money. I take a little bit longer than other people would about counting money and actually just counting in general, but I actually did a really good job. And a lot of them actually told me that I was one of the people who actually got trained pretty fast, and I knew what to do, and I was good with it. The rest of my first day wasn't too bad. It actually went by really fast. So when I worked that day, it wasn't too long, but I wish it was. I wish it was longer, because after I went home, I was like, man, I really want to go back, and I was so excited to go back, because this is my first job, and I actually had a lot of fun. And I knew what I was doing for the most part, and plus I wanted to train a little bit more. I wanted to practice with the register more, and I wanted to do other things rather than just register, which, by the way, I did do other things, but most of the time it was just register. Anyway, so the next thing is how fun the overall job was. It actually was pretty fun. For me, as a person, I like to organize, I like to keep things clean. I actually do like to redo things rather than just making keeping it organized. I also like to reorganize things, and even if it's organized already, I like to do it anyways. And I think one of the first things that I was told to do was to organize this area for the Pokemon stuff, which actually wasn't too bad, but there was a lot of stuff there, and I had to learn how to face things properly. And I also had to get some more racks and then a little hooks, and it was pretty cool. And the equipment that they use, they call it a Sapphire and also a printer, and then you have a walkie. So I'm walking around with a walkie on my hip and a printer on my hip and a Sapphire, and I'm just boop, scanning things, printing off tags and putting it in the thing, and then it was actually really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Now, speaking of equipment, I actually lost a few, I lost my equipment sometimes, and also my carts that I was using. Now, I'm not saying lost as in actually 100% lost, no one found it. I just forgot where I put it, and then I'm walking around the store trying to figure out where I put my cart or my equipment. And one time there was equipment that I left in the back where the baler is, and that's where you put the cardboard and it squishes it, and then it makes a hay bale, basically. That's what it is. I left it back there, and I actually kind of freaked out because I was I really don't know where I left my equipment. So I asked on the radio, and they said, well, I see one over by the baler, and I was like, oh my god, that's mine. Oh my god, because I hate when people lose their things, and then I find it, and then I use it, because it's well, they left it, so. And then someone else comes by, and they go, well, that was mine, and I was like, ugh. So I was actually that person that left their equipment, and I'm glad that I found it. And also my cart, it was just so weird, because you would have a cart with your stuff on it in a little bag for garbage, and I would be walking around the store taking stuff and putting it in the cart to restock somewhere, to move it or whatever. And I would be told on the radio to go help someone in the front, at a register, or to go on the phone and help someone. And so I had to leave my cart there because I can't just take the dang cart to the register and sit it right there because it's in the way. But I actually, like, I left it and then I forget about it, and I'm like, what was I doing? Because I have like so many things going on in my head. I have someone actually talking in my ear almost all the time, and then I have customers asking me questions, and then I have my own like thoughts and whatever. It was kind of a mess sometimes. And speaking about a mess, it took me, just so you know, it took me 5 hours to work on one aisle. And the aisle actually isn't that big. I mean, it's a decent size, but I actually was called in one day. I was in Toppenish and I was on my way home because I got gas, and someone at work called me and said, hey, can you come in? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I can. So I come home, I get dressed, and I go to work, and then I get started on working on an aisle, and it was a Crayola aisle, and actually I really liked organizing it, but it took 5 hours and I didn't necessarily finish, but I did a very good job, and my boss was very, like, he was like, that you did a great job, and he did change some things around, but I mean, like, I was pretty satisfied, and I think he was too. I just wish it didn't take me 5 hours to do that, and actually I was pretty bad at keeping track of time and actually like completing my task in the allotted time I had. Like, since it's my first job, I could take a whole day on cleaning my room. Not a big deal for me. At work, I can't just say, I'm gonna take the whole day to do this one aisle. That's not that good, because you're not doing a lot of work and you're getting paid for it. So how about we speed it up, but you still do a nice job. But it's hard for me because I have to sit there and think, okay, this is how it's gonna be, and then I move a bunch of things, and it's just a cycle of taking forever. And I think that's one of the reasons why it didn't get to stay, because I took a long time on aisles and like cleaning and all that. Anyways, and I just want to say about some customers that were good and also that were bad. I had quite a few good customers. I mean, like, almost all of them were good and they were nice. And they were patient with me, especially on my first day. Man, oh man, I took forever. And one person said, no, it's okay, take your time. You're doing actually really good for your first day. Because they asked me, like, when did you start? And I was like, today. And they were like, you're doing a really good job for that. And another person, after like a few days of working there, they said, yeah, I work at Walmart, and they just threw me out there and said, go do this. And you're actually doing a very good job, so don't worry about it. I'm actually really proud of myself for doing it, because it was something I wasn't comfortable with and I didn't really want to do in the first place, because I don't like talking to people, if you could believe that. But it wasn't that bad, and I actually liked doing it because I got to just, I just got to see all the money, and I got to press the buttons and then say, oh, your total is this, then give them the receipt. And I don't know, it was pretty fun. There were a few customers that got mad or they were irritated, but they weren't really irritated or mad at me. I think it was just like in general. And one customer had to wait a while because I asked on the radio if someone could come and help me, and no one came for like a good 5-10 minutes, and the customer was actually getting really irritated, and I couldn't do anything because I actually had to get someone else's code to put in the computer so it allows me to do the thing I needed to do. But no one came, and the customer was like, okay, you know what, never mind, just take that off and I'll get it some other time. And when she left, she was like, that's not good, because when you asked and someone still hasn't come and it took 15-20 minutes, it really didn't take that long, but it felt like it. She got mad and she left, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, it's nothing that I can do, because I was sitting there, I was asking, and I was like, hey, can someone help me at this register? And no one showed up, and I actually said it again, and no one showed up still. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. And then she's like, it's whatever, it's fine. And then another customer, just so I can get this out of the way, I was trying to help her find, I think it was a board game or something. And I was like, I'm sorry, we don't have it, or I just can't find it. And she goes, well, I guess I'll just get it on Amazon or something. And I was like, I'm sorry. And then she's like, just left. And I was like, oh, I hate when people get mad, and it's like, I feel like it's something that I did, and really it is, but they're not mad at me. I just kind of feel like they're mad at me, but I don't really. A lot of customers were really nice and awesome. There was one customer though, like, it was so confusing. Oh my God, I forgot about this. So I was at the register waiting, and then a girl comes up And actually, she doesn't speak a lot of English, so it was kind of hard to understand her, but she was asking about like a Santa hat that was on sale. It was like buy one, get one 75% off. And I was like, well, I don't know what sale that is, so can you go show me? And so she shows me, and the tag actually was expired. It was buy one, get one 75% off, but there was another tag that was bigger, and it wasn't expired, and it said buy one, get one free. And I was trying to explain to her that this is the one that's happening now, and it's not the 75% off, you know? But I think she didn't really understand, so she was thinking that this buy one, get one free wasn't as good as the buy one, get one 75% off. I guess I should have said, yeah, that's the thing, and then have her like ring up the hats and then see, oh, it's buy one, get one free. Like, I don't know exactly why she, like, because I asked her, is that okay? And she was like, no. And then I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, like, I don't know. It was just so weird because it seemed like she didn't understand me. And I should have just said it one last time and said, this one, the one that's 75% off is not the promotion that's on now. It's actually expired. I don't know why it's left up. But there's this new one that's buy one, get one free. So instead of paying for one and then paying for another 75% off, you actually pay just for one, so it'll be like $4 instead of this. But I guess she didn't understand it, but it was kind of weird. Sometimes it's hard to understand people, especially if they don't speak English or very well. And it was like, I don't speak any other language but English, and not very good at that anyways. It was pretty hard for me. I just want to say there have been many good experiences at working at Toys R Us. I would highly recommend you go and work there for the season or whenever you want or whenever you can. There were some times, like I think with every place you work at or with everything you do, there's some miscommunication and there's some accidents, but guess what? That's just how it is, and I actually really enjoy working there, and I wish I still did work there, but everything's all right. I'm actually looking to work at Petco or PetSmart now, which PetSmart is right next to Toys R Us. But anyways, I think that'll be it for today's video. I'm sorry for not posting last week, and I'm actually came down with the flu, and I kind of still have it if you didn't notice, but I'm actually okay now. I'm doing stuff, I'm getting productive, I'm getting things done, and hopefully now this video will come out tomorrow sometime, today, whatever time you're watching it. But anyways, guys, if you liked it, be sure to smack the like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me out a lot. I'll see you guys all next time.